Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Philosophy. Well, we are Sahajatri and today we will be talking about a very important topic that is affecting a lot of families and educators all over the world. Today we are diving deep into a topic that touches the lives of countless families and educators, supporting neurodivergent children. Behavioral challenges and developmental milestones can be incredibly complex to navigate. Joining us today to break down the science of behavior modification and provide us real actionable strategies is our expert guest, Dr. Shoma Pramanik. Hello ma'am.
Hi.
She is a clinical psychologist and she is an expert in the field. So ma'am, a very warm welcome to our episode.
Thank you for having me here.
So ma'am, when a child exhibits challenging behaviors, what are the essential do's and don'ts for parents? How can we best equip them with the practical tools that they need to feel, they require to feel confident? So what do you prefer or what will be your, advices to those parents?
Okay, right. So Nishita, first I think what we need to understand is what are challenging behaviors, right? And we also need to understand that these behaviors are those that cause a problem in the moment. Okay, so for example, a child is running around. That in itself is not an issue if the child is running around in a playground. But if he's running around in a classroom where there are 20 other students who are sitting, so that then it becomes a challenging behavior. So for defining challenging behaviors, we not only need to take into account what is happening, we also need to take into account context. And I would also like to mention that challenging behaviors we do not see only in case of neurodivergent children, we can also see it in the context of neurotypical children. To understand them, we need to see that when is it happening and what does it aim to do. So every behavior has a motivation. Every behavior is an attempt to get something or is an attempt to remove something. So in order to deal with this also, we have to look at it like perhaps a detached scientist. I understand it is difficult for parents to look at it as a detached scientist in the moment. But I think the first key to managing challenging behaviors is prevent rather than manage. So prevent them from happening rather than managing them later. So children do well in case with routines. Children do well when there is predictability. And children do well when they transition gradually from one activity to another. So if we can establish those consistencies on a daily basis, that would be one thing that can help us navigate challenging behaviors, by the way, by reducing their frequency or intensity. Okay, that is one. And I think you had a second part to your question. Could you come again?
Yes, ma'am. So I was asking, how can we best equip them, the parents, with the practical tools that they need to feel confident?
Okay, so then the first thing would be the practical tools. There are no such tools as such, but it would be good to know that what happens before the behavior and what happens right after. So for example, when is the child running about? Maybe we might notice that, if he's in school and just during the period preceding break, in the last 15 minutes, the child runs about, right? So that is the key for us, that when does it happen and what happens after this. Often when a child exhibits challenging behaviors, they are sometimes parents given, sometimes teachers given, sometimes their demands are just met. So then they know that this is one way, this is an easy way to get the behavior or to get my goal. So if we can change the antecedent or consequence, what happens before it, what happens after it, then we can manage it more easily. Okay, And it's best not to go for rewards, like immediate rewards. Rather, it is better if we know that what are the tools that calm the child down.